allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. I'm going to grab an agenda because I forgot to grab it on the way in. Okay, we do have a quorum. We have Amy and Scott and Holly here to this morning. We used to say this evening. So we will go ahead and recognize that we do have a quorum. We don't have any emergency additions to add to the agenda. So if I can get a motion for approving the agenda as is.
I'll make a motion to approve today's agenda as listed.
I'll second. All right, any discussion on the agenda? All right, all those in favor for approving the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And this is the time the public is able to speak on agenda items. It doesn't look like we have anyone present, but just so that we know what it is. It's just a special meeting where we're going to move forward on some bidding that has happened for some projects. That way we don't have delay in projects, especially with weather changing in probably a month or two. So we hope to get some projects on their way. So we are going to go ahead and move to routine items, or sorry, new business on E1, and that is going to be approving the awarding. Well, actually, first we have communications, right? Because we're going to have Tecton explain.
We'll have him explain and then there'll be a vote.
Yeah, so I think we can go ahead and have him explain, and then we'll, if we don't have any questions, we can make a motion for voting on the proposed recommendations.
So Carl from Tecton,
Hello?
please kind of share with everybody where we're at and how we got here.
Okay, so what I typically like to do is run through the contracts and the bid amounts and that, and kind of talk about, you know, what all's included in those bid packages. And what that can help do is help you folks develop questions as to what all's included or miscellaneous questions. So the project went out to bid. Everyone received the same bid documents. Conversations were held, questions were asked, addendums went out to answer said questions, and then also included were updates to the drawings and things that the architect wanted to make sure was included in the project for clarification. And then on Tuesday we received the bids, read them aloud, and I have with me the results, and in front of you, you should all also have those. So what I'll do, I'll go through, I'll start with the general trades contract, read the contractor and the amount, and maybe tell just a little bit about what's in that project, or in that contract. So feel free to stop me anytime. The first one is bid package 2A, so 2 stands for bid phase 2. Bid package A, general trades contract. Melton's Construction Services won that with a low bid of $1,039,000, and then with the alternate number 2, $15,600. So within the $1,039,000, there's a lot of things in there, and I can touch on that with some highlights. The alternate number 2 was the moving of the basketball goals. So those had to be moved over because the new center line of the basketball goals will move with the new configuration. So that's moving the structure that supports it, getting them all realigned, and then the actual basketball goal will move up a little bit to accommodate the thickness of the new sports floor, which is not in this bid package. But the general trades includes a lot of miscellaneous things, including all of your concrete. So your concrete foundations, piers, site concrete, curbs, anything concrete, mechanical pads that your new rooftop units will set on, that sort of thing. The general trades contract also includes their own excavations for footings. It includes steel doors, steel frames, wood doors, and the associated door hardware. It includes installation of owner-provided Division 10 things like soap dispensers, mirrors, anything that goes in the restrooms, handicap grab bars, those sort of things. It would also include any steel studs, millwork. So there's at the Audubon Elementary, we're demoing out some millwork, moving it over. But concrete is the biggest item in their package, and it also includes the helical piers to stabilize the foundation where we had bad soil reports at the elementary school. There's the soffit demo for the tie-in of the new addition, and some miscellaneous. That's the bulk of it.
Okay.
Then we move on to bid package 2B, the masonry contract.
Can I pause you real quick?
Yeah.
On this, with alternate number 2 for the 15,600, did you say that? Did you go over? I'm like,
yeah, that's
I was
okay.
writing and
It's moving of the existing basketball goals.
That was that.
So
Okay, I
those
heard
will
you
have
say
to
all
be
that.
moved over and move
Yep.
the hand crank, and there'll be some structure to work with on that. But that bid alternate came in very tight with Big Ben Builders. His alternate was $15,000, and you can reference that in the competitive bids on the front sheet of the bid summary review under alternate number 2,
Yeah.
relocate goals.
So is that 15,000 included in the total base bid, or is that in addition to? Those are all,
That's in addition
any of
to-
the alternates are in addition
Yep.
to what's
Yeah.
in column?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, good
And then
question.
it's all tallied up at the very bottom of the second page. So all of the alternates that were chosen are included in that bottom number.
thank you, sorry. I heard you say that, I just didn't.
No, you're fine. Bid package 2B masonry contract went to James Shear Masonry. He's a very well-known masonry contractor in the area, been in business a long time. That includes masonry CMU, so concrete block foundation. It includes all the above grade block and brick. So you have 12-inch thick split face masonry walls that go all the way around the new annex facility. He also has the staining, so we're gonna buy just gray CMU block, and then he will stain it with the color of your choosing. So that's a good way to do that, because typically with stained split face block, they'll have mortar on it, and the texture of the block will hold the mortar, and sometimes it doesn't clean off really well. But when everything's said and done, he'll stain it, and that'll make it bring continuity to everything. And if there's a little speck of mortar on the face of it, he'll just stain right into it, and it'll all blend. So also including in that is the demo and reinstallation of masonry in the natatorium. So you have a single door there that we're expanding. But on the interior, you have some green acoustical block with all the holes in it. That's designed to absorb sound and not allow it to reverberate. You're not gonna find that anywhere in that color especially. So what we did was we told him to provide white glazed block right there to trim out that door. Now, if that's not aesthetically pleasing to the group, that can be painted with a special paint or something. We could match the paint or color or the glazed color of the existing and have the painter paint that. That'd be a small change order to the paint contractor, but there are paints and means of prepping that block to receive that new paint. So the masonry contract's pretty cut and dry, but he would also have all the interior demo at inside the existing structure at the Audubon Elementary, and all the brick and block over there as well. Moving on to the roofing contract, so it's a 2C roofing contract, Century Roofing. Very experienced roofing contractor. We've worked with them a lot in the past on many successful projects. It's a fairly small project for them, but they still went after it. This also includes not only the roof on the new elementary, but it includes roof work that's needed for the new natatorium dehumidification system. So they'll have to close in and repair the location of the old unit, as well as flash in all the new structural supports for the new dehumidification unit. And then they'll make the tie-in as well for the new addition on the elementary.
Have they done work for us currently?
It
That's not
seems
who-
like we've used them.
I think they have, yes, I think they've done all of your roofing.
Are we happy with that?
I think we have.
Okay,
I know.
just asking.
Moving on to bid package 2D, aluminum contract with Central Indiana Glass and Glazing. So you have some translucent panels that allow light in, but not transparency through the openings into the annex facility. So you'll have light, but you can't see through it. They're doing all of your exterior aluminum entrances, and then all of your exterior aluminum windows. Perhaps I'd have to look to see how the hardware schedule is written, who's doing the glass, but they may be responsible for some of your wood door lights as well, which is not uncommon. Moving on to 2E, the wood gymnasium flooring contract. Jack Laurie Floors won that with a low bid of $192,600. And they have experience in doing that, there's no issues there. But that will also consist of, I put into their contract the demo of the existing. Sometimes you get into issues where you have the general trades do the demo and then the floor contractor's not happy with the way they did that. Or they'd like to make more money and, hey, let's offer them the additional demo, clean up, touch up, because we don't feel like the general trades quite did a good job. So I wanted to eliminate that, so the gymnasium floor guy is gonna do your demo as well on that. Moving on to the flooring contract, Jack Laurie Flooring won that bid, $154,425. So within the new annex facility, you have a synthetic floor in there, that's not cheap. But they have and are responsible for that floor, as well as any BCT stripping and waxing in the Audubon Elementary, and all the new flooring that goes into that piece. So the new cafeteria area, art room, those areas. And then if there's any areas during the project you wanted to, hey, let's fix this, we would do that with those folks. Paint contract. So paint contract includes an alternate of $13,800, which we're recommending, which would be to repaint the whole gymnasium. You're getting a new floor, you're getting new bleachers, you might as well, for that kind of money, repaint the whole gym and have it look all new. And there is a design from the architect that shows your new colors and those sort of things, but those will be presented for approval in the submittal process.
So that is not something, because I mean, if we feel like it's not needing to be painted, are you saying this ties us into that?
Yeah, so if you say we don't wanna paint the gym, we remove that $13,800.
Here was the discussion is that because of moving the goals, the stripe
All
or
the
some of the
design of it.
painting is not, symmetrical.
I thought when we walked through though, we thought that we could just paint the, where the red stripe is, paint the above is solid white, and it would look okay.
So I can articulate on that.
Okay,
So, when you do that, that is in the base bid to fix those lines and bring continuity and make it not look like, oh, the goals are supposed to be over here. But when we do that, it's not gonna match. It's gonna look like a paint patch, so to speak. So that's why we're recommending the alternate, just to paint everything and then just bring continuity to everything and bring.
how about the bleachers as well? With the bleachers moving out, there's gonna be something on the wall that
Yeah.
doesn't match, but doesn't cover it
Yeah,
up.
he'll paint that.
Right.
As
right.
part of,
The
yes,
alternate.
as part of the alternate, yes, I forgot about that.
Mhm,
Yeah, you do have, I believe, bare block.
mhm.
I think you have bare block behind the existing bleachers.
It's like if you move your vanity in your bathroom at home, get a different one, it's like, oh yeah, I didn't paint behind that before.
Yeah,
Well, I'm just a little concerned with painting the whole entire thing, because it can't be that old, because we just added our 5, whatever, employability goals for our corporation, and those are that's the only school that has it in their gymnasium, so I guess I would hate to lose that if we just did that within the last 5 years.
lose what, I'm sorry?
They're like, actually, I took pictures of them while we were there, they're like 5 employability.
I'm a problem solver or,
This kind of
Yeah.
pattern? Okay.
It's just the words, it's not the pattern.
But we just did it, and like, it looks nice, I think, the walls, so I'm just like, oh, do we need to spend the.
Well, perhaps you could paint a tight box around that? I don't have a,
now we
I
did
don't know
do,
if that was in the design. Did they account for that on the?
I don't think they did, we just knew that they're, painting it at this time would be a good time. I can tell you that at my previous school, we had we had something painted and didn't want it removed, and so they went around that, they did a,
Well, what could happen in that regard is he paints over it and we get a decal, we get a graphic.
It might be one, I don't know.
They could peel off and put,
It's probably was not,
well, if
honestly.
it looks really good, it might very well just be and stick it right back on.
I think it is a decal.
Because I think that's something that,
That's-
I think prior principal
Yes.
had,
That's what I'm
Yeah,
doing
I
in West
think-
Central right now is
it
a
looks nice.
decal
I
with the same
would-
contractor.
I just would say that, no, that is a good price, that's a good bid, and what we don't want is it to look like a patch job. And so I guess I would say that, you know, we should be fine with the alternate, but I think we should maybe have a little conversation with them
Mhm.
about these, wall
Yeah.
pictures.
And for, full disclosure, I do need to look into the specifications for what type of paint is specified for the job. If it's currently epoxy, we can't go over it with latex. And I need to double check what's specified for that room, came up very last minute. There might be a small change order for an upgrade to epoxy. Latex paint won't soak into epoxy if it's existing. So there's another little thing going on there, but nothing that worries me in the least. But there are options that we could look into, and if it's painted on, paint over it, we can buy you through the project, of course, buy a decal and put it back. That's totally up to you folks.
that's why I didn't know, if like, you know, when we vote, if we're locked into
Well,
painting
We are into
over,
the contract when we vote for, not painting over it,
but like,
but
that's what I
awarding
mean,
them a contract, right?
can we?
We can make changes, that's not a problem, we can do a change order,
yes,
if we have a contract,
yes.
yeah. But if we don't have the contract, then we just.
Are you saying don't go with the alternate at this time and then?
I'm not, I
Okay.
didn't know if you were,
Well, I thought when we walked through, we all like were looking at the paint, and we thought, really, that one wall, obviously now you're saying that the bleachers being removed exposes something different, but, yeah, that far wall, the farthest wall of the gym, it looks like a brand new wall, so I just am like, why are we painting it, but I understand we wanted to look, So I guess, like, keeping it is fine, but I would like some more discussion on it when it comes to actually doing it, because I don't want us to be taking away some of the
On a
quality.
good note, that scope doesn't happen until next summer,
Okay.
so there's plenty of time to discuss changes and modifications to that, if, or enhancements, I should say, to that space. And we could approve it now and then do a deduct later, or modify, enhance, and maybe it's still a deduct, maybe it's, okay, Don is his name. Well, we don't wanna paint this wall, let's paint to the corner, how much less money is that? There's we can always back out of it later, even if it's contracted, or we can, add it in, it's totally up to you. Because knowing and remembering now that it's not painted behind the bleachers and just with the patching that would have to happen, I would recommend, and the costs associated with it, I would recommend moving forward with it. Again, it's up to you folks.
Do you guys have any thoughts on
Remember what day that was? Or, well, 'cause I took pictures even.
August?
I mean, I think it, like, to have it look like a continuous, you know, like you said, like it's not a patch of this and we didn't do it, I don't know that. And I think trying to get a decal or something to put those on there, if they want them back on there, and would be fine, but I'm okay with going forward with the paint.
Is that something you could quote out separately, or is that just tied in? It has to be tied in
That'd
with
be
the.
illegal. And when you say quote out, when you say out, you mean to other contractors, or do you mean
Yeah,
price? No, that's illegal. We could,
or if you finished it out, we could paint it later.
that's legal, but you just couldn't use bond money.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense to go with it, it just needs, like, if you're saying you can make adjustments and
Yeah.
see how we can save money down the road if it comes
Yes,
to.
and I'm
Yeah.
I'm willing to go in there and take another look and make suggestions on your behalf. I could go look at it and say, oh, that is a decal. No, that's not a decal. Hey, what if we do A or B or C?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense to go with it, I just mean, like, when it comes to it, I wouldn't like to see it just like there goes all of the, design, cause that's like one of the, like, all those actually right
Features.
back there, yep.
Yeah,
That we were trying to instill into our students is they need to, know that responsibility is important, and so I don't know, I just
There-
liked it there, but.
there is plenty of time between now and then to make changes. As a matter of fact, when it comes to paint, that's one of the only things in construction, the day before you can say, I don't want that color.
Yeah, it's paint, yeah.
Yeah, they can, before the guys are headed on their way to the job site, they can call the paint rep and say, hey, change that color to this, or, but if we're making bigger changes, we wanna give the paint contractor an opportunity to say,
Yeah.
okay, this is gonna be a $4,000 deduct if we don't paint this wall.
So, answer me this then, so today as we're trying to, we're gonna vote for these contract, for the approval of those.
Yep.
Would it be possible to hold off on that alternate until our October meeting so that these folks can get a better,
Easy, yes.
because that's not something that needs to be, would you guys feel better about that? Or do you just wanna, I mean, I'm just trying to make sure
I
that
think
you
if we
guys.
can make a change order, we could vote that we can do at some
No matter what.
some
we
level
have,
of it, we're
yeah.
gonna do it, it's just whether or not we keep the words or redo them.
Okay.
Well, no matter what, we know it needs, painting has to happen, so.
You just want the details ironed
Or
out.
just, yeah, like, what, okay, you're gonna be painting, what's the design, like, we're not having.
And
to-
you're saying that if we approve this today, we still have that opportunity?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes. And between now and next month's meeting, I can go in there and take a look, and, or all of you can as well. And we come up with a group decision, and I can work with the painter and
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
so we'll leave it as, we are not approving that alternate today.
No,
and-
No, we are approving the
We
are.
alternate.
We are.
that will be up
Yeah,
for,
Well,
yes.
and we can
Say
always
we'll-
change it.
Sorry, we've been
Yeah.
asking
Well, I
questions,
guess we
so
have
yes.
to, yeah, we have, we can't say we are yet, but right.
We want that left on as the
Okay.
recommendation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then.
And then we'll
we
get
can make
clarification
changes.
throughout, yeah.
Absolutely,
Just-
easy.
Can you just elaborate on the fire alarm? What does that alternate?
The alternate,
Yeah,
that was a fully new fire alarm system in the elementary. That was ripping out the entire fire alarm system and putting in a new.
okay,
And
and that's
then there was-
painting around where it was.
You
then.
got it.
Okay,
Yes, so where a device would have come off, we would have painted that, but we're not recommending that at this,
Okay.
any of that scope at this time.
okay,
But you will have fire alarm devices, strobes, and pull stations within the new addition. So that's included in the electrical package, in the base bid, to get you code compliant.
okay. So out of the alternates, you're recommending 2 and 3 as part of the package?
Yes.
Okay,
And really, the alternate number 2, relocating the goals, we did that more so we knew the value of it. It really has to be done
Yeah.
because you're moving your center line,
yeah,
so.
okay.
Okay, would you like to move on to telescoping bleachers?
Sure.
Yeah.
So we received a bid from Toadvine Enterprises for $99,873. And then there was an alternate bid to add 4 rows that we're not recommending for $33,000. It's not on my recommendation letter, so let me look at my bid summary review.
Do you remember that Chris was wanting us to
You
look
could
at
pull out additional
when more
rows.
people come,
Yeah.
and it's costly.
Yeah.
And I did not see anything in the electrical, design from the electrical engineer to change the electrical requirements for the added 4 rows. So, and that question was never presented to the engineer, but at this time, I'm assuming that the electrical service that's gonna be provided in the base bid for your new bleachers would operate the additional 4 rows. The motors could bear that additional load. Okay. And that contract includes demolition of your old and existing
Okay.
bleachers.
Is that just a, limited group of people that provide that service? Is that why there's only one bid, or what's it?
They are limited, and sometimes they're bought through a cooperative or through the equipment options within the things that are available to be bid without going out to competitively bid. Sometimes bond council will allow you to get 3 quotes or go through a cooperative. But yes, that is a limited thing. And many of the bleacher and grandstand contractors don't offer interior bleachers.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
you're welcome.
We're in that, the new gym, is it gonna just be on the one side, we're not putting any back into that other
Right.
side? Okay,
Right.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, because of their court shifting.
Yeah.
Going back to like Amy's comment, I see some of like, I mean, I'd prefer to like 3 bids, and some of them have 1 bid.
Yeah.
Was that just what
So-
all we got?
Yeah, many people
Okay.
backed out.
Okay.
So I have a lot of experience in bidding rural schools, and some of them, they don't get bids. They're like, we've got enough work right here. We don't have any desire to travel out there and do that work.
Okay.
Because they have a lot of windshield time, right? They have a lot of driving back and forth. Yeah, that's not uncommon at all. I've
Okay.
experienced that. I had multiple contractors want to do it, but then they just weren't getting the warm and fuzzy, and they just wanted to back out because it's remote work.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of get your
Yeah,
opinion on that, yeah.
yeah, that's common.
One other thing on the bleachers, do we know how many it's gonna seat?
Yeah, that should have been discussed during the bidding, or I'm sorry, during the design. So they would have specifically asked, that is a very large question during bidding, or I'm sorry, again, during design.
I don't have it with me.
I don't either, I don't have those meeting notes with me, but there was a number given specifically from you folks to Lancer and Associates for them.
Now, I'm pretty sure it would be very similar to
Oh.
what it is now, as far as the space of it, but I know that you give up seats with the new bleachers
Yeah.
because of the ADA
And-
requirements in the.
And then Stacy would have used that number that was given, because we have a multiplier, like, we say, if it's 1,000 butts, right? 1,000 butts times what type of bleacher it is. If it's a grandstand exterior, $150 a butt. If it's, and that's how Stacy would have produced a budget number for that. And that item came in under budget, so that, we had a win, a nice pickup in that category.
So you're gonna gain a little bit with the teams are gonna sit on the other side where the
Right,
other bleachers
right.
are, so they usually sit in that front row.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have people be able to sit there, not, usually like they leave a blank row in between them because then there's space out for the team, so it'll probably be pretty close to today.
Okay. So I will move on to 2I, plumbing contract. Brenico Plumbing. Brenico is more than qualified to do this project. It's actually a very small project for them. So we did get combination bids, and we did get another plumbing bid from North, but they were the low bidder, and they're more than qualified to do this project. So you have very minimal scope for them at the Otterman Elementary. There's a hose bid, and that's it over there. And then at the annex facility, even still, there's minimal scope for them there. They have some under slab, you've got restrooms. Not much really to say there in that regard. Okay, then moving on to 2J, HVAC. North Mechanical won that with a bid of $1,018,000. So those bids came in very tight. So Everhart was $1,019,009. Very tight numbers there. A little bit unusual, but not unheard of. So that scope includes all the HVAC work at the elementary. Then it includes the natatorium dehumidification, which includes new duct work that comes down, and actually the duct work will be installed correctly this time, where the duct work will come down and pull the air off the top of the pool. So it'll pull the chemicals off the top, and then your return is here, let's say. So it'll have that sort of air circulation within that space. And we're gonna move the existing dehumidification from its current location to a new on the roof. So all that scope's included in there. And then the annex facility. So there's all the HVAC in there and all the ductwork. Controls is not part of the project. Controls is not included in here. That's a separate item. And that's very typical for that to be done that way. Any questions on that bid package?
Where's North Mechanical, where are they based out of?
Indianapolis.
Okay.
Now I say that, their contract bidding is out of Indy, but they have another office in Lafayette, Indiana.
Okay.
And I'm not all a lot of service comes out of the Lafayette office, and they currently do all of your service work.
They do.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
So
Familiar with
they
That,
are,
that was gonna be my next question, who currently,
yeah, North Mechanical.
I would call them local.
They're great.
okay.
And you will, I mean, and the fact that they currently do your service work,
Mm-hmm,
they're gonna perform well in order not to lose that. That's a big deal to them. As a matter of fact, that's why they bid this job, is because they currently hold all your service work contract. And Ryan likes them, so, I was happy to see that shake out that way.
Carl, when you say the control work is a separate item, will that building, the annex building, will it be controlled on its own? Or will it be tied into the BC building to,
Well, for it to be tied in is easy. It's all just an internet thing. So when they're putting together your front end interface, your controls front end, your home screen, it'll all be and fall under the same software that you currently use. So for them to pull that in is easy. So when you log in, they'll see this site, this location, this, they probably already do. It's probably already, your high school's already all tied in to one homepage where you click here, here, here. And yes, it'll be all tied together.
okay, just curious.
Yeah, and it's the same controls contractor that you currently use. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal to all schools, and very common that they use the same controls contractor. Sometimes they have proprietary software, proprietary sensors and things like that. And then we also have a lot of dealings with Jackson Systems, which is who you currently use, and he's very accommodating. If say there was something you didn't quite like that wasn't in his contract, he would just, spend an hour of his time and fix it for you. So,
Okay.
Okay.
moving on to electrical. So there again, your fire alarm is in that package. Your telecom, your internet drops, all of your power, all of your lights, all of your electrical service. They're responsible for coming out of the new transformer that I need to order. There's a new transformer coming from your REMC. They'll trench then and provide a power circuit all the way over to your new annex facility. They're gonna provide connection of your fiber, so they're gonna run an underground fiber conduit all the way from the annex facility into the existing IDF room.
Okay.
Not much to say
Pretty
about
basic,
them.
yeah.
And then they'll be roughing in all of your controls for HVAC. So they'll pull all the wire in, they'll get all the conduits within the block, all your thermostat rough-ins, all that's included in their contract. So,
Pretty big gap there.
huh?
Pretty big
Yeah,
gap on
that's
those
a big one.
quotes.
Oh, yeah, yeah, and that's not uncommon. They're gonna be slow. They're coming up on a little bit of a lull, so they really wanted it to keep their
Yeah.
guys busy.
Mhm.
That's a common thing going on in the market right now. A lot of people are bidding to break even because things are taking a dip right now,
Hmm.
which is good for you.
Yep.
It's really good for you. Okay. Site work contract, that one's the KA contracting. They're a small outfit, but very capable. And the site package here is pretty small. They'll be setting all your pads, your pads for they'll come in and scrape, set all the stone, and then the general trades will come in and cut through it all, put in their footings and foundations, helical piers. So they'll cut down all your trees that are there next to the annex facility. They'll prep all the exterior site stone and asphalt areas. They'll place all that stone for the asphalt guy, and they are also providing your asphalt. So asphalt's within that contract. It's such a small asphalt quantity that it's better just to put it in asphalt. We wouldn't even have got an
Are
asphalt.
they the ones
in.
that put the fence around, for safety, or is that the general?
I've got, actually, that was gonna go through general conditions.
Okay.
But, so we'll pay for it out of general conditions, but the this particular site contractor just so happens to have a ton of site fencing.
Okay.
So I'm gonna buy that through general conditions through that contractor.
Okay.
And I met with Abby this morning,
Right.
walk that to make sure that the kids are separated from construction. And then lastly, Jim's Welding and Repair, one that's bid package 2 in for structural steel. And I don't know that Indiana Steel was quite prepared for a small guy to come swoop in and do this work. So he was a bit of a savior. Really, all you have is just some joists and deck. The structural steel package on this is very small, but joists are still expensive to buy. But from a structural steel standpoint, very simple. And we've had Jim on some larger projects. I always say he's the only hillbilly I know that does CAD drawings. So, but a great guy. You won't have any issues there. And that's it. That's really all I've got. I welcome questions if you have any.
Thank you for that. Sorry for all the questions.
No, it's expected.
We did have Ray join us. You probably heard him chirping in on questions and stuff, but he is, has joined us as far as our quorum goes. At this point, do we have any other discussions amongst us that we have? If not, I think we just need to have someone make a motion for approving the recommendations. I do know that Amy would like to abstain from one of the votes, so we could have a recommendation for all of the recommendations, and then we can do a separate vote on the 2J heating and ventilation, air conditioning with the North Mechanical Contracting separate.
Yep.
So if somebody wants to make the recommendation for the recommendations of pulling that one out, we can start our voting.
I'll make a motion.
So you are Ray.
I'll second if I can, I don't know if I can say
To
vote to, or
the
recommend
one
to
you wanna
pull it
abstain
out.
from?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure you can say that one.
Okay, so Ray has moved to approve the awarding bids for the renovation projects per Tecton's construction management recommendations, with pulling out as a separate item the 2J heating, ventilation, and air conditioning contract to the North Mechanical Contracting. So right now, we'll just do all of them except that one. So we had a motion, and Amy seconded. Any discussions on that at all? Okay, so all those in favor for approving the recommendations excluding the heating, ventilation, and air, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, and so then we'll just now have the consideration for the approval of the 2J heating, ventilation, and air conditioning contract to North Mechanical Contracting. If I can get a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to accept the 2J heating, ventilation, and air conditioning contract with North Mechanical.
I'll second.
Thank you. And all those in favor for approving the North Mechanical Contracting for the heating, ventilation, and air, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So we had all three, and then Amy abstaining. Okay. No one has joined us as far as audience goes, so no other comments from the audience, so we can go ahead and, do you have any comments, Dr. Duke, anyone else?
No, the process was well done.
All right.
Thank you, Carl,
And
for coming
thanks
through
again
this
for
and
your
explaining.
time.
Thank you.
We'll adjourn.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And good luck.